again.
We are now.
Whoop, whoop. So what's that England score again? The game I don't care about.
And you're dead.
Sorry.
So good evening, everybody. We are back again, back in the Tomb of Annihilation. We made a slight jump forward in time. So everybody is back in the control room. Other than that, if somebody wants to go the usual recap, and by somebody, I guess I mean you, Lou.
Oh, yeah. So, because I'm paid all the big moolah in the background that you guys don't know about, thanks, Phil. What happened was we started the session riding a big goldy-coloured elephant surrounded by flames and demons, and it got steadily worse and worse and worse. Hence, more demons, etc., etc., until eventually Fufuk had been carefully retaining his last level 4 spells. Managed to banish the last two big demons with Cade's help, being a divination wizard. He forced them to use low rolls on their saves. The demons weren't sent back to their home plane, which is quite interesting. We know this because you hear a popping sound. So they may be kept somehow in this room. It implies that they could probably come back again. So Fufuk was trying to relieve the mammoth of some of its gems, but the rest dragged him out of the room kicking and screaming. And then after some fiddling about with the rooms, we just presumed that we remembered how it worked, because there was clearly some misremembering of what does what. Anyway, long story short, we're now back with Kobold in the control room, and we're about to discuss what we do next.
We got that shell list, didn't we, as well?
Oh yes, golden skull, chalice, very creepy. Feels like it's solid gold, so that's gone, except for the skull part. So that's gone in the money sack that Kate's carrying around. Probably important, but none of us can remember why.
Yeah. Oh, these cameras are out of alignment. Bloody on fire.
Yeah, because thingy's not here.
Yeah, I know. Be glad when I've got them other sorted. Let's see if I can get this. Just.
Oh, it should be if it's. Oh, mind you, yeah.
Yeah, it's because it puts ones. It puts
anyway,
placeholders up, doesn't it, for empty spots as well.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm looking at the wrong things. That's why I'm highlighting the wrong things.
So Cade has basically got all of his spells still left.
Well, he used knock last, didn't he?
Yeah, that's that.
Tried knock.
That's that. Right. Okay.
Yeah. No, it costs knock. I can definitely see. So to put in perspective, Cade is quite damaged at the moment. Cast 1 first level spell, 2 second level spells, 1 third level spell. He's got 3 4th level spells and 1 5th level spell that he hasn't touched. Now, for Fufuk, on the other hand, right, let's check this out. Fufuk's got no 5th, no 4th, no 3rd, 2 second, and 2 first level spells. So
He got another spell book, didn't he? This man.
Yeah, but he's got to slowly transfer them. I'm talking about spell slots.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he's got another spell book, though, hasn't he? Because did he fully look through that other spell book he had and get all the spells out of that?
No, he's in the process of slowly transferring them.
It's got to roll each time to actually transfer them. It takes hours and hours.
So every so often he's been doing one.
Right, so Fufuk says, I think it's time for a nap, people. A nice long rest. Who needs some healing? Cade needs some.
You from looks of it.
Yeah, Fufuk I think needs the most. Right. I can't even do that bloody thingy spell either to help us. Okay. Right, Fufuka settles down and starts casting Cure Wounds on himself. Because he's also got no hit dice.
Oh wow!
Well, we can change that from private.
So you're only going to get half of them back at a long rest as well,
Correct.
and no healing from them, of course, as well. It just recovers. Is anybody else doing anything?
I've got a couple of good berries you can have if you want them for folk. They'll give you 1 HP back per one.
That was the best healing roll I've done in
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever? Yeah.
Wow. Level
That
2.
would have
That
probably got Cade back up to full.
cheeky monkey can wait till later. When you start spending more spell slots, you'll get more healing. I'm just going to potter with Fufu. Cade's going to cast Learman's Tiny Hut, if it fits.
I
think it does, doesn't
think
it?
we'd said it
Done it
just
before,
about
yeah.
fits, didn't it? But you have to cast it over the top of the control panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we decided it just fits.
Learman's. Oh, it's not called that Learman's Tiny Hut, it's just called a Tiny Hut. So I couldn't find it. Don't consume,
Okay.
don't place template. Right. Yeah, it's called a Tiny Hut, is not imported it, you see, so it doesn't show the emblem thing.
Right.
Right. Fufu's going to do another 2nd level spell, this time on Cade.
And is anybody else doing anything? So
Are we having a long rest?
Well, it's
It's like 3:30 in the afternoon.
yeah,
Isn't
so it's 3:30 in the afternoon, so you got some time to pass before you could actually qualify for a long rest. Almost a long rest worth of time to pass before you qualify for a long rest.
Oh no.
So yeah, about 16 hours to pass.
Short rest then.
You can, I suppose you can do a short rest while you're waiting to do a long rest.
Right. Going.
Herbal will just meditate on how to figure out changing these things around without leaving someone behind.
Yes, so with that in mind, I shall put up the control panel again for you all to see.
Ooh, that was poorly.
Okay, the food's finally at full. So, who would like a one or single cure wounds that's left?
I'm alright, thank you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Does
You're better off using it on Cade.
does Lee want to cure?
I'm cured.
Some to the chat.
But you're better off doing it on Cade.
Cool. Okay.
Not last one.
There's-
Keep the squishy alive.
Ooh, big one. There we go. 12. You'll be happy with that. Ooh, just short of full. Right. I suppose Cade will spend the time transposing a spell from the spell book into his personal spell book.
Okay. Do you want to choose a spell and then at the end of the first 8 hours, be able to make an Arcana check, see if he managed to copy it or just waste it.
Yeah. Do you have a list of spells from the other book?
Has he not got a manage?
No,
I did
can't
give him
see
a
anything
list,
under-
yes. I did give him a
Oh, is that
list.
okay, yeah. Well, shall I roll for it? And then, no, I don't. I need to choose it, don't I? Otherwise, it won't
Yeah.
be available.
Is it on? Can you? Is he? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Where would you have put it? Inventory, maybe. Spellbook. No, that's just his spellbook. Has he put in any notes? The biography, perhaps? Nope.
I remember you put it in the chat.
Yeah. Not in the journal. Not in there. Well, he's not. He doesn't appear to have recorded it on his character sheet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't see it anywhere else. Hunting. Knowing this one has probably written it down on a piece of paper.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Okay, well, we'll just leave it. We'll just have to remember
Yeah.
he gets a go when he's back in.
Yeah.
Right. I suppose short rest, long rest situation then.
Yeah. So, does anybody want to do anything before you actually have the actual proper rest, the actual long rest? Got 8
Just
hours
try
to.
and-
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just try and help Bobold figure this shit out.
Okay. Well, like I say, you got the control panel there. I presume you can see it.
Yeah, I took
Yeah.
a screenshot.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Right. Well, I suppose.
What configuration are we on now? Sorry.
So the configuration you're at now would be the one that allowed you into this room, which would be number 3. Yes, the one that's lit.
Or number 5. Eventually.
So that door would be currently open. That door and that door would currently be open. That door would be shut. That one would be open. They would be closed. That would be open, and that would be open.
Do we have any idea where we're going?
I assume we want to go out the far side of all this horror, which is through that portcullis with the 5 gems over the door. In the room with the chests, which I assume is some kind of combination trap filled with horror and pain.
What are you looking at? Sorry.
No, the last gear room
Yeah.
had
The
cabinets. on the
north
walls.
exit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, but
north
then-
exit on that third cog.
Yeah, there was cabinets in the room. How many cabinets was there? Yeah, so there's 5 teak wardrobes actually, wardrobes, cabinets, whatever you want to call them. 5 teak wardrobes standing against the ironclad walls of the chamber, each with a door bearing a carved image or scene. So, yeah, like I said, so other than that, nobody's doing anything, yes?
No. Fufuk, once he's healed, well, basically himself, will start tinkering with some music. But Cade is trying to work out if he can use his spell. Blah, 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 blah. Animate objects. So I'll just whoa, this is a big one. So how do I push this into chat? Right click. No. Just a standard roll, I suppose. No, I don't want to cast the spell. I just want to dump it in the chat.
Oh.
So could I use this spell to flick the dial on the dashboard? So how it's currently configured in the image, right, that we've got as the background on we can reach, this is 120 foot radius, right? From there, Kate could command, in a straight line, more or less, could command these animated objects to do something, right? And that thing could be to, like, twiddle a dial. So
yeah, can mentally command any creature you made with this spell if the creature is within 500 feet. If you control multiple creatures, you can command any or all at the same time, issuing the same command to each one. You decide what action the creature will take.
So Kate could cast Animate Object on something that can turn the dial, and we could basically remote control the console from 500 foot away, which would cover all of these gears.
Technically, I guess so. Yeah, I'm echoing back off somebody.
Probably me.
Decide what action the creature takes, where it will move during its next turn, or you can issue a general command such as guard. Yeah, so general command's no good.
Solves the problem.
You what? Sorry.
It solves the problem.
It does.
Mentally command. It's mentally command.
It
so
is.
You could say, turn the knob once, wait 10 minutes, turn the knob again, turn it again, turn it back.
Obviously, you're gonna. The only stumbling block is gonna have to have a good mental picture of the command of the control panel. So, in theory, yes.
Well, I'm going to assume that Cade's 18 stat is way higher than my personal intelligence.
So yeah, why not? It's not complicated. It's not a complicated layout, is it? And you've got sort of basic things. So it's like, twist blue, push red, push blue, or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, fair enough. That seems reasonable.
Awesome.
Because it doesn't say you need to have you need to be able to see what they're doing to be able to direct them. So
no, I think as long as I think the command is descriptive enough.
Yeah. Because presumably they are aware in some, they've got sensors to some degree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sorry, all your animated objects are colorblind.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be like left-hand dial, right-hand dial. You say the blue one, then it's like random. How to shaft your high-level players. Let me think. So the only question then is, to Dan's point, do we know how to get out of here?
Configuration 1. After we're in middle room.
Yeah.
But do we know what that lever does?
You haven't got the lever anymore.
It brings a golden elephant to life.
It's stuck in the back of the head of the golden elephant.
No. The lever's there. We just took the top off it. You said it unscrews.
No, the whole thing unscrewed. The whole thing. The whole lever.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, when you said it unscrews.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
whole.
you meant the silvery thing on the top.
No, the whole
unscrews.
thing. So it became like a control lever in the top of the elephant.
No, you said you
Mastodon.
put the star in the top of the head and it clunked in like
Yeah.
magnetically.
Yeah.
So I assumed it was like
Yeah, but the handle was still
a
attached.
shaft, a
This-
remote control shaft on top of.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fine. I assume it doesn't make a difference then that we haven't retrieved the golden shaft from the
Well,
mastodon.
you can only find out. No, Balder certainly hasn't noticed the difference, and you've not noticed the difference. So yeah, it's apparently made no difference.
Hmm.
The only difference is that you can't find out what it does.
Just be away for a minute.
Right.
So, if people who are going to do short rest, have they done short rest before you then inevitably do the long rest? We'll just check to see if anything happens during this time.
Just have a check and see what we need to do.
Doesn't do anything for food. So
Right, so let's change that to hours. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
can I Google what an Irinez is?
A what?
The demon lady. Can I Google what she is then?
No.
No. Okay.
Right, and they're going to do a long rest. So from about 11:30, that's long rest. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that takes us to about 7:30 the next morning.
Cool. Long rest.
There is an active combat. I don't think there is an active combat.
Hope not. That would be quite funny. You can't rest your constant.
Yeah, so you can do your long rest, and don't forget you only recover half your hit dice that you've
Yeah. It's actually only
half of your yeah. Well, you know how it works.
Well, it's automated as well, so you don't have to think about it.
Yes, this is true. The wonders of Foundry. So yeah, so as soon as you're ready, we can you can get underway again, whatever it is that you're doing.
So we remember that they're shambling mounds, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we might have to deal with them.
So
Alrighty.
let's put half an hour on for
I don't like it when you start clock watching. It makes me anxious.
It's just to remind us that we've got like 20 hours to rest before we can do anything else.
Yeah.
Because we've used all our spell slots.
Okay. So it's so yeah, you wait. You after you've rested, then you get up, and of course you eat, drink, get your shit back together, and yeah. So what are you doing?
Well, no, Fafuk made that. He's leaving it in the corner of the room. We're not taking it with us. We're not the SAS.
Yeah, I had to dig a hole here.
Yeah. Yep, so I suppose we go to the room filled with the big plant things. Do the big plant things leave the room, or do we just hunt them down and kill them?
So by the... Sorry?
Yes, we have
We can
done
do a
a
long rest now.
Yep, long rest done. Sorry, Phil, you were saying?
So yeah, you've got once you head over there, they're gone. They've gone again.
So they only get animated like every so often after certain
I think
conditions
it's when the gas, when the gas comes out, when that north exit opens.
And that north exit's definitely opening, isn't it?
It will when we go to the next configuration.
Okay. Right, well,
So configuration 1, it opens the north exit in the middle room, and the north exit in the far right room.
And is that the one that allows us to step through into the far gear? Okay. All right, so Cade's going to...
I'm going to say, if you want to close it off after that, once we're into that other room, that far right one, then it needs to go to configuration 3. If you want to close it off afterwards.
So my question is, because Cade's going to have to, once it's cast a spell, we're basically going to leave these animated things there. We're going to walk our way across into the plant room, and then he's got to like give the command, right, turn the left hand knob clockwise or whatever once. So I assume Obold can sort of tell us exactly what to do, because he's had all the time in the world to memorize this stuff, considering he's been there for like 2 days straight.
Yeah, that would seem reasonable. You've also had like 16 hours to 8 hours to like with nothing much else to
memorize it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I imagine most of you will be able to commit it to memory by now.
Yeah, unless Fafuk's singing has put you off. Okay, right. Okay, cool. So we go to the plant room.
Okay. So yeah, so you're going to so we discuss what you're doing, and then we can perhaps bypass any unnecessary movement. So you're heading to the center room.
Yeah, and Cade's going to cast. Let me get that cast. Animate objects. Blah blah blah. Standard roll. Cast. Right. So that's been cast. We then, oh my god, he lied to us. Here we are. Well, these plant people. And then as Obold gives the instructions, Cade will mentally relay those instructions to the animated objects.
Okay, so, and the result of that is that closes off. The door to the north opens, which gas starts spilling into the room, and the doorway to the third cog also becomes passable, open.
And we leg it into the last one.
Okay, so you're just going to leg it straight in. You're not hanging about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. Straight in.
Rightio. So yeah, you usually be able to escape into the third cog room before those creatures get a chance to reform.
Awesome. So now we're stuck.
Of course, little bits of gas spill into this room, but nothing significant.
Brilliant. So now we try and have to puzzle this thing out. I mean, I suppose we've been spending a few hours talking about this room because we more or less remember what it looked like. So the assumption we're going to do is we have to like either open a chest or find something in the chest, and that will.
Just to interrupt you briefly, are you operating the control panel again to seal off the southwest exit? Yes.
Yeah. It's got its configuration 3.
So that'll keep the north one open, but shut the one back to the Shambling Mounds.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, we do that definitely.
Okay. So that does that, and it opens. So the north one briefly closes, and then the southeast one exit becomes available, and also the north one. So yeah, it's in range. I checked.
Nice.
It's it's got like 500-foot range, and it doesn't mention anything about being blocked because it's so. So yes. So this room is, we'll give the description again. So 5 teak wardrobes stand against the ironclad walls of this chamber, each with a door bearing a carved image or scene. Puddles of grey slime cover parts of the floor. The room has 2 exits, including an adamantine portcullis blocking the passageway to the north. Set into a plate above the portcullis is a row of 5 red crystals shaped like drops of blood. So there's 5 wardrobes, 1 to each on each side of the against each wall of the room.
5 wardrobes.
5 wardrobes, 1 against each wall, and each wardrobe, the door of each wardrobe is carved with a scene or image.
Can you describe the scenes to us?
Yes, I can. So the one to the northeast, the scene depicts it's like a dust and smoke. No, sorry, that's something else. What? All right, okay. Yeah, the scene on the door of this wardrobe depicts an army of orcs clashing with an army of hobgoblins. That's the one in the northeast. The southeast depicts a grinning witch with a swaddled human infant in its arms.
Swaddled?
Swaddled.
Yes, swaddles wrapped up tightly, like a burrito.
Oh.
The south door is carved to depict the face of an ornate clock. The southwest door depicts twisted, screaming humanoid faces wrapped in chains. And finally, the northwest depicts a group of ghouls gnawing on bones.
Right, who wants to put money on us having to open every single one, face something related to the image, and then one of those red teardrops turns green? After that, remember, I'm six. Yeah.
You can go and check if you want.
Right, well, I think we cast Learman's tiny hut first. That's what I think. And then we go open one of these chests. That's what I think. Because it makes a nice little base of operations. So we do that, Phil. Cade casts Learman's tiny hut ritually and plonks it in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Ooh, no problem. Is it 20 foot across?
Yeah, there's plenty of room to put it in the middle of here. Yeah.
Ah, cool, brilliant. Right. Kate does that, and then do we have a happy volunteer to go? Which one do we want to do first?
So let's put a thing down to. Well, do you want to put? In fact, you put. Can you put the template down to show where the show where you've placed it, rather than me putting it down, or I can put it down and you can tell me if it's wants moving slightly. I'll do that. It's probably easier. Right, there we go.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get it lined up. Sorry, I need to delete these now.
Okay, so it's 10. Okay, that fine? How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
I'll dump the info for Learman's tiny hut in the chitty chat. Tiny hut. Tiny hut. No, don't consume it. Don't place template. Right, so that is what? That is what it does.
Yeah. 10-foot radius mobile dome of force brings your existence above and around. Caster remains stationary. Spell ends if the caster leaves the area. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside. Spell fails if includes a larger creature or more than 9. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable, dry, regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any colour you choose, but transparent from the inside.
Right. Who wants to go? I need to step away for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Discuss who wants to go open the door first.
I don't mind opening doors.
I think Fafook should do it.
I vote. Everyone votes that Fafook does it.
Just going to move it slightly.
It's like that thing when they ask a volunteer to step forward into it, everyone takes a step back.
Yeah.
It's actually okay then. Oh, well, kind of.
That's better because it says it can fit 9 people inside, and you've got 9 squares wholly within it.
Right, so oh, the Dan gone as well. Oh no, he's there. I can see his armpit.
Hello.
Let's move over. Better.
So who's opening the trappy traps?
You.
No.
They all voted for you.
No. No. For Fuchs in a tricksy. No, Kate can't do it because the Learman's tiny hat goes.
I'll do it.
Yeah, so even Cade voted for you.
Which one do you want to open first?
Pick your poison, really.
Starting in.
Roll a dice.
Very good point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6 is rolling.
Bloody fucking work, did it?
Hell?
No. Roll a d6. 6 is just roll again.
What the hell did it zoom in for then?
It was me speaking.
That's goddamn settings being.
So, this one.
Panther speaker. Yeah, we don't want that. Thank you very much.
The southeast one.
This one?
1 second. Panther speaker. No. Do not Panther speaker. Which doing the southeast one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 moment.
What was the description again?
I shall provide you with the description. The door depicts a grinning witch with a swaddled human infant in its arms. And just to repeat this, even though Luke keeps calling them chests, they are wardrobes.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I open the wardrobe.
Okay.
Big enough for a dwarf to fit inside.
Opening the door, you see, you look down. You look down upon the caldera of an active volcano. Shards of black rock float above the molten magma. Perched atop one shard are two man-sized creatures with insectoid features and 4 arms apiece.
Shut the door.
Okay. Right, you shut the door before they appear to notice you.
So there's a volcano with floating rock above it, and on top of
So
one of
rocks,
the floating
like lots of floating rocks, like rocks, sort
like
of.
asteroids or just
Yeah,
stuff.
if you like, yeah.
And there are bugs on top of one of the rocks.
Yes.
Is it like a gateway? Would I know this?
Well, it's certainly not a normal wardrobe. That's the first wardrobe you've seen that appears to go to another place.
Okay,
No,
I'll
we
tell
can
everybody
see
else and see what they want to do.
We can see past Tackland through it, I assume. It's not
You
just
can,
seeing
yes,
it.
yes. You'll have
So
you'll have a limited view. Of course, Tackling's got a, you're only going to get a small square of it, whereas Tackling, he can like see. Basically, he's stood. That's like him stood at the front door, looking outside, see the entirety of the outside. Whereas it's as if you're sort of stood down the end of the hall and can just see what's framed by the doorway.
I mean, we're like 3 meters from him, but yeah. So
Anyway.
The principle.
So Tackland opens it and goes, "Yeah, no." Slams it.
Yeah. Essentially.
So does the glowing things change above the portcullis?
No.
Do you want to go take a look at the others, Tackland?
Sure will.
Which one now?
Let's just go clockwise from here on out.
Okay, the south one. Excuse me.
The south one.
Okay, so this one, the door on this one is carved to depict the face of an ornate clock. You opening this, are you?
Yep.
Okay. Opening the door, before you, you see enormous interlocking gears and cogs stretching as far as you can see. Suddenly, a spherical construct with spindly legs and small wings tumbles through the open doorway and lands and kind of face plants at your feet.
Kick it back.
Hostile.
Kick it back. It's a football.
Right, so it kind of, well, I'll show you what it looks like first.
You can't keep it. Throw it back.
Aww. I need to look at it first.
Fine, but you're the one taking it for walks.
Oh, look at him.
Oh, hang on. Don't these things have like a weird name? They come from some plane of.
You don't know anything about it, so
No, me
don't trouble
personally,
yourself.
I'm vaguely
Yeah.
remembering.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah, so
hospital
it kind of like tumbles through and just face plants on the floor, and then it like sort of struggles to its feet, and with just paying you no attention, it turns round and heads sort of trots back to the wardrobe, and it like sort of bounces back off as if there's some like invisible wall there.
So it can't get back in.
No, it's stood there like trying to like frustratedly like with its hands trying to just like banging on it trying to get back in, and it turns round and says something to you, but it's just this babble of nonsense.
It's got the
Cable use the helm.
helmet.
Well, I mean, you can have the helm, but Cade can use the helm if you want him to.
Yeah, did Kate hear what it said?
Just going to fire up the helm. Oh, you have to cast a spell, comprehend languages.
No. Well, yeah. So I could like try prompting it to talk again after he's cast the spell. Well, actually, we can't cast the spell, can he? Because she's already got layman's going. Does somebody else want to cast it straight on?
Layman's is not concentration.
Uh,
You just have
they're
to
not.
stay in the hut.
Okay, we'll get into cast it and I'll try poking this thing into talking again.
Runs real slow. Let me just a second.
Let me just check something.
Oh, well, that's fine.
But Fook will also cast comprehend languages.
Okay.
Oh, damn it, you can't actually cast comprehend languages on anyone else. That would have been useful. Okay.
Did Cade do what he said?
So it's it can hear, yeah. So Cade can hear what it's saying, but it's just babbling nonsense, like disjointed random words. And it just continually, just like keeps. It looks up at tackling this 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 big, wide, sad looking eye, and just like stands there babbling at you. And every so often it turns around and keeps like banging on the like this on the wardrobe or around this invisible doorway.
When you take the helmet, maybe because tackling met it first, he can understand it.
I think I'm just going to put it out to its misery and stamp on it.
You have a cold heart. But okay, go for it.
Yep, so I'll just twat it.
Okay.
It transforms into a 20-foot tall mechanized warrior.
Yeah. Aha!
He goes Gundam. No, what do they call those big mechanized things in Korea? Gundam. Gundam machine.
Advantage because he weren't expecting it.
Yeah, you can have a yes. It's a surprise attack because it weren't advantage. Yeah, it's just like
18.
Yeah.
10 damage.
Okay, right. You stab it through the face, since it is just a big face on with like a metal sort of brass metal cowl and a mechanical metal legs and arms, and it almost has this sort of surprised, saddened look on its face as you shove your sword right in, pretty much into its mouth.
The only one that's sad.
And it looks up. Perhaps a little tear runs down its cheek.
0 fucks. Just scraped it off my sword
and before it hits the floor, it just like turns to dust.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
And the scene through the wardrobe disappears, and there's just this just an interior of this wardrobe, of a normal wardrobe.
And what colours?
One of the crystals is now glowing red.
Hey.
There we go. Okay.
If I open and close this wardrobe, does another one come out?
No.
Oh. Thought they were going to XP farm.
We basically have to lure through innocent creatures from other dimensions and then murder them.
Oh, got the right guy for the job. Let's open another one. Let's open this one. As soon as anything pops out, he gets stabbed.
Okay, so this door depicts twisted, screaming humanoid faces wrapped in chains.
This'll be fun.
I open the door.
Okay. Opening the door, waves of heat assail you as the door opens, revealing an iron road leading to a basalt citadel surrounded by the charred remains of defeated armies. Prisoners scream from iron gibbets that festoon the citadel walls. Suddenly, a single glowing ember flies out of the wardrobe and lands on the floor behind you, where it transforms into a winged, bony fiend with a smiling, skull-like visage.
I was
Ooh.
prepared for this though. Do I get a smack at it?
No.
Oh. Have we seen one of them in other campaign? Have you used that token before? It looks familiar.
I don't believe so. I could have done, but I don't recall. Let's see. Let's have
I've
a
seen
bit.
it
We've got a
before.
better.
I've
One of
seen it
these
before.
One of these come out of that one of them walls in that Mastodon room.
Don't think one of those did.
No, not one of
It
them.
looks familiar.
It looks similar, but it wasn't one of them.
Right, I guess we're fighting.
All right.
Okay.
That's fighting talk.
Right. One moment. So I'll select the group. Why is that? What is that? Nothing.
Can I just shut this wardrobe door just to make sure nothing else flies through?
You can, yeah. If that's what you want to use for your, we can use it as
Could be a free action.
Yeah.
Slamming a door.
If you don't let me attack it as it comes through, then I can at least shut door behind it.
Oh, Dan, I don't think you were there for one of the first sessions when we were doing the Fandolin stuff. And this bandit leader or this cultist leader made the mistake of stepping into this one-roomed, ruined town. This had one room in it. We were like hidden in it, and this cult leader with his cultists like bang on the door. So he opened the door, he steps in and just slammed the door behind him and barred it. And he was like, and just banks him instantly. Phil was like, oh! Yeah, it was funny.
Oh yeah, with that green dragon.
It was the Green Dragon Town. Yeah, God, it was funny. All his cultures like, oi, there's him! We're busy killing your mate.
One at a time, one at a time. Up he goes.
Oh, shit, it was funny.
Okay, so just waiting on everybody else's initiatives, just in case you want to do something.
Sorry. Apologies.
Okay. So, the first to act is Lu Hai.
Shock horror.
Okay, let's go. Right.
I'm going to cook because I'm not acting for a while.
I'm going to use a flurry of blows still.
Okay.
Damn it.
And I'll attack it then.
Okay.
See. Right.
Oh, wow. I think you hit.
Okay, right, yeah, you hit it.
17.
Rolling with advantage. Oh, yep, yeah, that's fine, because, yep, that's fine.
Oh, wow. Finally a max.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll try a stunning strike, Phil.
Okay, let me just do the damage. So it's 11 points of damage.
I'm just rolling D3 just for my charges for that cloak. So it's a new day.
Okay, Stunning Strike. Difficulty class is
16.
16. And is stunned.
Oh, nice. That's what we like to hear. Right.
Do you think this demon thought this was happening this morning? He's like just out wandering around the countryside around his big basalt black city with screaming, crunching over dead armies, and then next minute he's like stuck in the stinky little chamber and these short people are like beating the living shit out of him. One day you're torturing souls, next day you're being stunned by a monk.
Ooh. That hit, Phil.
It does.
Oh, minimum.
Minimum
Maximum
damage.
then minimum.
Okay, it's barely injured. Okay, strike it
Oh,
again.
that's it.
I eat a biscuit.
Oh, shit.
Bounced all over that dice as well.
I'll knock it prone, Phil.
Okay, 6 points damage again.
He's knocked
Yeah,
it
no,
prone.
I'm going
And
to knock
knocking
it
it
prone.
prone, which it automatically fails, I believe.
Yeah.
There it is. Strike it again. For another
Maximum
11 this
13.
time. Hitting it
Two
on the
minimums, two
floor.
maximums.
Yeah, that's me done.
Okay, so next to act is Obold.
You don't have to leave.
I'll move.
You don't have to leave.
I can't interact with it through the shield.
Of course you can.
Through the hook.
Of course you can. Every object that you hold, whether you're in it, can leave. You can sit inside and punch through the side of the hemisphere if you want. Nothing's stopping you.
It's just not magical in it. You can't cast magic through it.
Correct. If you had a spear, you stay inside and you poke it on the outside.
Oh well, it got rid of that anyway. But
All right.
I'll stab it from here, Phil.
Lee disconnected.
Get over here!
That's a hit.
20 hit, I'm assuming. So spear.
Right,
we
stab
do
it
5
for
points damage.
5 points of damage.
Get over here!
Ooh, nice.
Ooh-wee, 27.
Let's see where it rolls the damage.
Nice.
Is that correct?
To see if it's correct.
Very
Let's
good.
make
24 points of damage.
I don't think it's correct, Phil.
Oh, it's not correct.
No. Because it keeps on just doing an auto. The extra dice, it autos to
So
an
it's
8.
two
Oh,
less.
there goes Lee again.
It will be an 8.
Should be 22, I think.
Let me check the system settings. What it's doing on the criticals. Right. Critical damage max dice. Make critical hits more deadly by maximizing value of the base damage dice. Right, there we go. Boom. It was on the.
So it should be 6, 7, 8, 9, 17.
17 points of damage.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Isn't
sound
it?
right. That doesn't sound right.
Well, no.
Because there's 8.
Have you heard of that
Plus six.
stun, that crushing strike, savage
14.
attacks?
Yeah. So there's 6 and a 1, which I've rolled. And then there's an automatic 8 for the critical. And then my +2.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Last attack then for me.
So you get
Okay, right. Strike it again. Punch it. For
Usually 4 points of damage.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
And then I will
Retreat. Okay, so next to act is Fafuk.
Fuchs says to Cade, what do you think, Cade? Do you think we should try and banish it? Cade's not rolled his d20s, so I'm just going to roll 2 d20s now.
Oh,
Always
I'm
different
telling you, yeah.
Ah, crap. Okay.
6 and a 14.
Fuchs will just step out here. Just step out.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, how damaged does this thing look?
It looks like it's pretty injured. Looks injured.
Does he think that he should let the fighters have their fun, or should he cast a level 4 spell at this thing and see if he can get rid of it? Do you guys want to beat it to death? Release
Yes,
some frustrations?
I'm just thinking there's quite a lot more doors, isn't there?
Because the scene only disappeared when tackling
Okay.
killed that clock thing.
Okay, for Fuchs will then try and talk to it and say, "Hey, dude, don't know if you understand us, but you know we're just stuck here trying to get through. If you could give us some pointers, we might be able to let you go or send you back where you came from without beating your ass first. So it's up to you, mate. Talk to me."
Not be able to answer you. He's stunned.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fuchs will give it a go. You'll give it a go. Right, and stay there.
Okay, so in which case, the next one to act is the creature itself, but it can't do anything. So it just lays there. So next it's Cade.
Cade's going to just stay where he is, because if he can't leave, Leomund's tiny hat and no spells will leave.
Yeah, even sticks his finger out, that's it. Right, so tackling.
I don't need to move for advantage, do I?
Nope.
No,
No. Okay.
it's thrown as well.
Yep, you'll be in
No,
the exactly right position.
Just wail on him.
Right, that's a miss. It's
Fuck,
it's
This is
deflected, so yeah, your blow does not penetrate its bony plated armor.
Let's try that again.
All right, this time you find a chink in its armor and stab it.
Give it the stabby stab for.
Oh.
Feel like I bit off more than I could chew here.
It's going to take you forever to kill this thing if you keep rolling like that.
Feel free to step out and help.
No, you're right.
Lou High gave it like a roundhouse kick to the head and then slapped it across the cheek a couple of times and then gave it an uppercut.
I'm trying to poke its innards. Looking for that sweet spot. Can't get it.
Trying to make it insides come out. Yeah. Right, next round then.
Roll that, low high.
And you got another attack?
Good
Next
attack.
round.
I missed first, didn't I? I ain't got 3, I've only got 2.
Oh,
Reroll.
this is where I need to roll. Look really low.
Crap. Yeah, you need to roll crap. Not one better than everyone, just crap.
That always happens.
Not sure.
It always fucking happens.
that's brilliant.
Nailed on.
You
Come on,
son.
Radio. So it's round 2. Luhai to go first.
Bastard.
Injured yellow's about 50%, isn't it, as I recall?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'll do.
Ooh.
Very good.
Critical.
Very good.
Puny points of damage, Phil.
14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Backhander.
What?
Well, backhander.
Oh. Right, it's looking badly injured now. Strike it again. Seven points of damage. And again.
My ankle down on it. Oof.
Right, stamping it for 9 points of damage.
That's me done.
Okay, next
And,
to act is it. So it is
Not
no,
stunned anymore.
it is
Stunned
no longer
anymore.
stunned, and it struggles to its feet.
Do you get attack of opportunity at it?
It's well, it's an intelligent creature, so it's going to try and kip up and try and do it without.
Okay.
So it'll be an acrobatics check. Okay, it doesn't do that very well. So yes, it can. It does provoke an attack of opportunity as it staggers to its feet.
Cool. Go. From both of us.
Yeah.
Are we in advantage position? Is that right?
Yeah, because you're in flanking positions. Yeah, you're on
Flanking in,
opposite
yeah.
corners.
Excellent.
Okay, right. You stab it.
Stay down, chicken wing.
12
Well,
points of
damage.
damage.
Oof. 12.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god.
That's a miss. Yeah, you scuff your hands on its on the sharp sort of bony hide of it. Right. So yeah, now it's up on its feet, and it's like it's losing like this black viscous blood from numerous cuts and bruises. Well, not bleeding from bruises, but anyway.
Black eco.
Yeah, I didn't connect. Might have killed that.
Okay. Right. So let's see which one. Who is it going to use? Let's go 50-50. Okay. So it rounds on Luhai and lashes out with its bony claws, its long, really long, spindly, razor sharp claws. Armor class.
Yeah.
What?
20.
Right, first misses. The second one misses by a mile. Then it like flexes its tail and attempts to like strike tackling with this stinger on the end of its tail.
With disadvantage.
Oh, you got your thingy, haven't you?
Displacement.
Look.
Stingy. Disadvantage. What arm class?
18.
Ooh, just misses you.
Woo.
Just avoided a peggy.
Look at that. Anyway, okay, so that's its go. So next is for Fook.
Oh my god. This is a bit of a shocker. Fafook's going to cast Sacred Flame at it because he trusts his fighters are going to murder it.
Okay.
And can it save for 16 dex, please?
16 dex. If you put it into chat, I can just use the button on
Yes.
the thing. There we go.
Did cast that last time? It would have automatically failed.
Yeah.
Okay, it passes.
God damn it. Fafook squeaks, whoops, and hops back in. Says, kill it, Herbal. Kill it.
Okay, next to act is tackling.
So from this position, I'll just try and finish him off. This has really not gone well for you, pal, has it? As I said,
It doesn't say anything while I've got multiple languages going.
That's a miss.
Ooh. Come on, you've got to put it down.
That
16?
is also a miss.
I mean, maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Putting
next
it
it's
down.
Obald. Unless I presume Tackling's not using his movement in any way. Okay.
No, I'm alright. Nothing. I'm good.
Let's just see Steve's comment chat.
Get over here!
I'll attack it with a spear again, then, Phil.
You what, sorry? All right, yeah.
Attack it with a spear again.
Good evening, Blakely 76.
17 hit.
17, it does not.
Ooh.
Ooh. I'll attack again then.
My God.
That's
That also misses. Fails
Did
to
I hit it?
hit it.
Nope.
Hadouken!
Right, okay, this time you just managed to hit it.
Oh, thank God.
Your titles is for hours. I wonder what Blakely means.
4 damage, Phil.
Oh yeah, the title, yeah, I know it didn't save it when I changed it. 4 damage. 4 piddly damage. Pew, pew, pew. Righty-o. Okay, but it's it's looking, it's like battered, like it's more like exploded. It's like spines are snapped and broken off, and it's it's sagging,
Wait.
barely
Wait.
keeping itself.
I'll go check something quickly. Doesn't Cade have like a whip?
He does.
Can he attack with a whip?
I believe so. I think it's got a range of 10, is it? It has a range of 5.
Yeah, it's got to reach 10, I think.
Whip
Can attack with
has got a reach of
damn
that's
it,
5
I
feet.
beat you for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, misses.
Okay.
9.
Right, so that was Cade, and then it's a reset for round 3.
Woohoo! So has it actually said anything, by the way, because I can understand it?
Not really. It's it was stunned, and then it's been like being brutally beaten. So it's having a conversation is kind of the last thing on its mind.
Yeah, tackling with a superb one.
Man, I'm just getting all that away now.
Oh, do you want to re-roll it?
No.
Didn't do so well either.
Oh, what happened to my roll? Weird. Okay, so wow. So first to act is
Cade.
is Cade.
So Cade is going to have another go with his whip, feeling frisky.
Crack the whip,
No,
but that's all it
no.
is.
Alien dominating.
That's all he does. He squeaks in terror, cowers.
Okay, so next is a Hobald.
I'll move back there and then try and poke him full of holes again.
Get
Okay.
over here!
Oh my god, come on!
That is ridiculous.
The
And again. Yeah.
Headbutt, boom. I love that noise. Probably not the best thing to try and headbutt, but anyway.
That hits.
Yes, it does. Right, yeah. So it'll advise you headbutt it for 7 points of
7
damage.
points of damage.
It's like headbutting a porcupine.
Yeah.
If it's still standing, Phil.
Sorry.
If it's still standing.
It is still standing.
Singing Elton John songs. I'm still standing. Oh, put it down. Oh, who's next?
So next is Fafouk.
Fafouk will step out, car, and can say versus 16 against Sacred Flame against, please.
Okay. Pop in the
Sorry.
chat. Soon through a normal, and again it passes. Dodges out of the way.
Bastard. And Fafouk ducks back into the protection. That's it.
Okay, and next it's it. So again, it slashes out at Luhai with its claws.
I think he likes
Missing with the first. Ow! Scoring a critical with the second.
ouch.
Can Cade not change that with his divination?
He can change it to a 6, can't he?
I suppose it can. Can you change hit rolls?
That's something I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Should say in divination. Oh, come on.
Yes, you can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check.
Okay. Right, Joe.
Right.
So you want to cause that to be a miss then? What?
6. Oh,
Yeah.
misses. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay, so he misses instead.
I'm glad I didn't use that one.
Okay, so it misses on both its attack, and then it lashes out at tackling with its tail. That disadvantage again
Of course. You're not hit me out.
for the fur. Yeah. Right, disadvantage. Oh, but it manages. It strikes you with its tail,
Oh, damn it.
and you take. Oh, wow! Is that right? Wow, it
Lots
is.
of damage.
You take. Let me get this right. You take 10 points of piercing damage. Is that right?
I mean, that's a
Yeah,
bit
10 points
uncommon.
of piercing damage,
10.
and you must make
Yes.
a Constitution save as it injects poison into your veins.
Can't wait for next level when I can just drink poison from the cup.
Oh.
That one.
Okay, you take another 20 points of poison damage.
Don't you have advantage on
No,
poison saves?
it's just halved.
Alright.
I'm guessing
You are,
Cade can't use his divination thing twice in one round.
no, as well. This is another thing as well. You shouldn't have been able to use it before because you got to use it before the roll. You can't use it as after the fact.
Oh. Whoops.
So that
So
critical should have hit.
What was it? 10 and 20?
Yeah, 20 poison damage, and you are also have the poison condition.
Lovely.
Poison condition if you're not familiar, because we haven't had that very often for a long time.
I'll Google it.
Is you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. You do get to repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns because poison and stuff like that are crap in 5th edition.
Don't worry, we'll fix you in like a round.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
odds on it's just going to like have not be worn off in a round or two. Okay, but until then you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability rolls. Right, so next to act is Lu Hai.
Oh, I'm beat it to death.
Oh.
Come on.
There's a poison status icon.
I'm looking for it.
It's the 5th line down. 2nd from the right.
It says I've still got advantage.
Next to the radioactive icon.
Yeah.
An 18 hit.
18 does not.
Fucking hell, fireworks going off.
19 and above so far, then it's been a hit.
Oh, that should do it.
Time. Fucking hell.
Well, I'll put it near death here. It only needs one good blow.
That's 7 points damage for him.
I think it's a ratio thing, so near death could be like
7
25
points
hit
of
points,
damage.
Well, give me a 20.
Well, you kind of got a 20. Dirty 20.
I meant a
Yeah,
natural.
20.
That's a natural 20. Max it. Max.
Oh,
Close.
10. Okay, right, you. Well, how do you finish off? That's a killing blow.
Punch it through its back. So it's a chest burster. Ugh.
A Liu Kang bicycle kick. All the way across the room.
Okay, right. As you punch your fist straight through its chest, it gets because it coughs up a gout of blood all over tackling before it crumbles to dust.
I'm starting to think you don't like me, Phil.
Fafuk will head out and cast. I think it's lesser restoration. Is that right?
I'll just shake all the shit off my hand.
Herbal will stand there clapping.
As you're doing it, as you're shaking it off your hand, there's a bit splattering me in face.
There, you're no longer poisoned.
Thank you.
Just flicking his hands towards you like that with all the blood.
Okay.
And then Fafuk will. Okay, chaps. Next chest then. Next cupboard.
While you're there,
The,
Luke, open it.
Yeah, look, you're next to it when you open it.
the next jewel up.
It has.
Oh, excellent.
Where's mine? God, let's close that again. Where have you gone? There it is.
Maybe we could cast Mage Hand and open a chest like that while we're inside the Learman's tiny hut.
I didn't think magic worked through it.
No, sorry. So Fafuk could stand, let's say, all the way over here, right, and then cast Mage Hand to open it, and then just jump sideways like into the hut. Shall we try that?
Well, spells can go through the hut anyway, can't they?
No.
Well, no.
No, they can't. So as soon as he jumped into the hut, the mage hand won't work with it.
No.
Yeah, but once you've opened the chest, you've opened the cupboard, so you can open it and then jump.
Oh.
So Fafuk will cast Mage Hand and send it over to open the chest and cupboard. As soon as the cupboard's open, Fafuk will jump sideways into the hut.
Okay. Okay, right. You open the doors of the wardrobe, and dive in and dive back into the hut, and you can see as the door swings open, you gaze out across, or through the doorway anyway. You gaze out across an ancient cemetery. Its canted tombstones are shrouded in fog. Eerie, hungry shapes move among the gravestones in the distance.
This is the Gould or
It was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Anything come through?
No.
Has the gem changed colour on the portcullis?
No.
Yeah, so we have to let something through and then kill it. So we've got to be bait. Someone's got to actually be bait at the door.
I'll walk up to the door.
And for Fook gears himself to turn whatever undead comes through.
Okay, who's going up to the door?
Tackling is
Tackling is, okay.
human meat shield, the dwarven meat shield.
Dwarf is like a shield of steel.
Okay, right. As you approach the door, suddenly you're attacked, and these glowing balls of light appear all around you.
Awesome.
What? Did you say glowing balls?
Glowing balls.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Boom. Boom.
Oh wow, that's some light effects.
Right.
Wisps are the filler. Oh, we've seen Wisps. I think we've seen Wisps before, haven't we?
Not sure.
Well, wisps undead. I thought wisps were like fairy things.
Right. So it gets advantage on its. They get advantage on their first attack.
Hang on, we knew this was going to happen. I'm not just going to.
They're invisible. They get a spray. It's
This is the third time we've
We're
done
already
this.
there.
You think I'm just going to keep walking into these traps? All right, whatever.
Right. So the first one, of course, is cancelled. So it's just a normal attack because of your cloak, unless it hits.
Might attack exactly.
Oh, and the first one misses. It there's like a sudden static discharge that arcs across, but it misses.
Does it accidentally discharge all over his mate?
Friendly fire.
Don't make eye contact.
Oh, wow.
So does it murder its buddy?
No. Right. So next one attacks. Again, it's going to be a normal attack, and right, that misses as well. So the third one attacks, missing, and the fourth one attacks, also missing. So now we're into normal round of combat.
Oh, hey guys.
Hmm.
Door's shut, yeah?
No, it's not shut.
Open
No.
the wardrobe up. I'm shutting it.
Well, no escaping for you then.
All them low rolls.
Waiting for the low highs 21. Oh, well, far off.
Can you stun a ball of light?
I'm gonna try.
God damn it, I'm going to try. Suppose you could get advantage if you snuck round on them, couldn't you?
Does the ball have a back?
Well, there's no facing in this. Is really? It's just kind of if you have a flank, which is somebody on the opposite side. Facing only really comes into it when you're for using when you're using a shield, really.
Okay.
Because obviously, in that case, then another slight yeah. But anyway, so it's so first to act is Lu Hai.
Right.
What was that movie about? Was it football playing monks or soccer monks or monk soccer?
Shaolin soccer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shaolin soccer. Go on, Lazar, score a goal or a touchdown or something.
I'll tap the one north of me. Oh god, that's low.
Okay, that's a miss.
Fucking hell.
It definitely dodges out of the way. Okay,
Well,
right. This time
that-
you managed to you hit it. There's a slight electrical shock as you punch it, but nothing damage him. 9 points of damage.
Not Phil.
What?
Try a stunning strike.
You're going to try a stunning strike.
Is this where we discover that Lazar's got no ball skills?
Oops, what did
All skills.
Ball
and what's the
skills,
difficulty
yeah.
class? Stunning strike. Constitution. And what's the 16? Rightio. Okay, right. It's sort of it don't kind of so it stops moving. It kind of still hovers there, but it just kind of stops. It like sort of vibrates oddly.
Stop bobbing and weaving, and now it's just like, I get stoned.
It's still it's uninjured, Phil.
Sorry? Yeah, I haven't put the
Still
damage on
makes
yet. I haven't put the damage on yet.
Wait.
But we need to wrap up in a couple of minutes so we can finish up 3 rounds of Cthulhu Chaos.
I'm going to use my bonus action to do patient defense.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
All right. Okay. Right then. So next to act is Kobold.
I missed my first attack. Didn't
Oh, right. Yeah, you did.
I'll move here.
Don't you get 3 attacks early?
Oh,
Only 2 attacks there.
yeah. So
Action-
it's bonus.
two
It's a
attacks and a
bonus
bonus.
action. Yeah, and he's used his bonus for patient defense.
Right.
I'll attack this with my spear.
Get over here!
Oh,
That's a miss. Complete
I'll attack
and utter
again with my
miss.
spear.
oh my
Wow. That's
Yeah.
another. Yeah.
Will Kane allow me to re-roll that?
Sorry, I was chatting. Yeah, of course, go for it. Reroll.
It's a miss.
You suck.
It's a miss.
It's a miss.
Oh, these have all been crap.
Holy shit, what's
Right.
happening?
He'll move back there.
Clearly, Obold's the one with no ball skills.
Did you
Yeah.
miss them all, Obold?
Oh,
Yes, every single one.
Then alert don't work. You've got to hit them to be able to move around and attack her opportunity.
No, I don't. You just
No,
have to
you
stand.
only have to make an attack.
You have to connect.
It's
It's more
the
mobility. isn't it?
mobile feed.
Mobility. Not alert. Which one did that was
Mobile.
right?
Mobile.
The mobile feed just have to make a melee attack.
Yep.
Whether
I thought
you
it was
whether you hit or not.
No.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot more potent
That's
than
why
you
it's
think.
that's why it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Who's next?
Okay, right. So one of the wisps attacks Lu Hai. Oh no, it stays stunned. That one, sorry, it doesn't. That one doesn't. So in which case that one's we're not doing anything, and then it's the next one, which is this one. So which discharges itself onto a bad choice of words. Onto tackling with disadvantage because it's not been hit yet. Was 17 hit?
No.
Oh, tackling. Hello.
18.
Ah, right, very good, thank you. Right, and then the next one, which is this one, also attacks tackling.
Somewhat of interest, so these are disadvantage, yeah?
Yep. And misses. And then the third attacks, but there's a flanking position, so this one is a normal attack. And it also misses. That one. And so next is Cade.
Right, so Cade, well, he's stuck inside, isn't he? So he's going to try and whip one of them. Like, woohoo! Yeah, 20. 20.
It does.
Oh, does 22 hit?
It does.
Whip.
Whips it for 4 points of slashing damage.
3 points less slashing damage.
Crack the whip, baby.
More than managed. Yeah.
Crack the whip, baby.
I was just showing him how to hit it.
I could just see Cade there, so in some stockings and some high-heeled boots.
Fishnet stockings. Right, that's it. That's all Cade does.
Rightio. So next is tackling.
This one's stunned, yeah?
You what,
Yeah.
sorry? The one
That
to your
was,
top right is stunned. Yeah, you should be able to see the icon, can you?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, just.
Tackling. That's me. Actions. Sword. Attack. With advantage. Bodoink. 19?
19 is a hit.
Ooh.
Ooh, maximum.
Right, yeah, so you stab it with your short sword, and there's it kind of discharges, like earths itself onto your sword, and just pops out of existence.
I use my next attack to attack this one bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Normal.
Oh, that should hit.
That's a hit. Stab it.
9.
9. 9. Okay.
That ends my
Nice.
turn.
Very well. And finally, this round is for Fook.
Steps out of Lehman's tiny hut. Takes aim at the one just due north of tackling the uninjured one. Cast Sacred Flame.
Good flame.
The flame. And that's a oh god, get on the right screen. That's a
DC 16 dex.
dex save. Oh wow. Yeah. You might be surprised to hear that they've got a pretty good dex.
Yeah.
All right, get rid of that.
They
So the
don't
one
have
to
many
north
attack
of the north of tackling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it passes.
Yeah.
Dodges out the
Says
way
something.
with ease.
Shit.
Okay. Oh, anything else?
No, sorry, that's
Right,
it.
reset that. Round 2.
Do we want to park here, or do we want to?
Well, let's for these yeah, let's finish this combat off. It won't. As I'm sure you've noticed, there's ones down already, so they don't take. They're not exactly.
Yeah, by the way, Obold's rolling and Blue's eyes can take all night.
Oh, it's got a 20. It's got a 27 that way. What the?
Well, they're fast.
Oh, there we go. I knew
Oh.
he'd roll better. I get a 25 for initiative. Blue Eye comes in with a 28. One better than the 27.
Right.
Yeah, if there was
Come
a
on.
dex, their dex
Come
is
on, Blue's eyes,
28.
Beat it. Beat it, monkey boy. Beat it.
So yeah,
Well,
round 2 is Lou High to go
what,
first.
North.
North of tackling.
Gosh.
Okay, that's a hit. You punch it. Punch it again. Mild electrical shock down your arm. And hit it for 9 points of damage.
Does it bounce around satisfyingly when you punch them?
Ping, ping, ping.
Like pinball.
Oh.
Oh, it's a critical. What a waste that will be.
Bicycle kick straight back into the cupboard. Goal!
15. Okay, right. Yeah, you.
One.
Yeah. Well, it's it's a finishing blow, so you can describe your finishing blow.
I'll do a roundhouse on it. What?
Right, yeah, flies straight towards tackling and disappears just as it's about to hit him in the mush.
Did you just bounce that off my head as well? Not bad. I don't play this game anymore.
I'll attack the one west of me. It's
Okay.
injured. And it'll be. Ooh.
It's a miss.
What?
A miss.
Wow.
Miss.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is this one. So it it discharges itself all over tackling. Since you're actually hiding inside that dome. So it's still at disadvantage because nothing's hit not hit tackling this round. Where are we?
Fucking love this cloak. Thanks, Obold.
And it misses.
Very impressive.
And next it's Obold.
Will.
But you don't have to walk around Cage, you just walk straight through his space. He's tiny.
Kick him out of the way.
Yeah. No, actually.
Kick him out of Liam's tiny hut, the whole thing is poof.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Oh, shit! We all sat there with their trousers down.
Yeah. I'll just move there. Then I'll attack it, Phil.
Get over
Okay.
here!
Okay, that's advantage. That's a miss.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a hit. You stab it this
Oh, my
time.
God.
Right, and that's a finishing blow. So you run it through with your spear. It's like a slight discharge. It discharges onto, earths itself on the tip of your spear, and
Then I'll flick it towards tackling.
just as it before it disappears, like ooh, right up back of the head. Ding.
Then I'll move
Terrible.
here, Phil. I'll attack that one with my last attack.
Okay.
I was going to say someone should spike one like a volleyball. Like,
That is a
That's
miss.
Oh, wow.
oh wow!
And then I'll move there.
Okay. So next is it. So yeah, it discharges itself all over tackling. And misses.
Hey.
Right, Cade
Next is Kate.
Cade
Yeah.
whips out his deadly whip and attempts to subdue it. Naughty ball, naughty.
Whip it out.
Misses.
That's a miss.
That's it.
Okay, and it's tackling.
Somebody got print to win.
It sounds like it.
My wife.
I can go.
Right, you stab it. Get a slight electrical shock. Stab it for 11 damage.
You bastard! I'm gonna smack it again.
Oh, just roll a 20. Right, you stab it again.
Big
Down
whammy.
this time.
Okay, right, and you deal it a killing blow. As you stab it, it earths it again. It earths itself and discharges on your blade.
Wait on my tongue. Spicy.
And
Kabatri.
pops out of existence. And as it does, another crystal lights up on the portcullis. So
Hey.
that's 3 marks.
I'm gonna jump inside. Just have a little breather.
1, 2, 3.
You muted, Lou.
No, I was just saying, well done, good idea. I'll
Right.
top up tackling with the cure spell, and then shall we wrap things up for the night for this one?
Okay. So yes. So for this evening, I'm going to finish a little early with this game and try and just nip over to Google Island and see if I can finish it.
Finally put it to bed.
Put the campaign to bed. There's a few rounds of combat left, and yeah, of the finale. So I think we'll take a brief 5-minute break and catch a boat over to Ghoul Island. Well, that was corny, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah. So
May as well.
We'll be back in 5 minutes' time.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. More than welcome to hang around and watch if you like.
Please do. Please do. Good evening. We're back, and we're back on Ghoul Island. We're here for the finale, at least. The dramatic, possibly, conclusion of the campaign. So we'll have a quick recap from the players, which probably means Lou.
Right, we are attempting to ensure that Dominico gets his ritual completed with Eivor to
Sorry.
unlock.
Somebody's watching the stream and I can hear it feeding back.
Did I not mute it? Oh, you might be hearing me just feeding back because I've muted the stream on my side. Everyone muted on the stream?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Right, so we are attempting to ensure the ritual is completed. Waves of corrupted elementals are attacking us from the lava side. We've got some flying creature thing that's crawling down the tunnel to try and murder us from the outside, and we're stuck between the two trying to fend them off. I think that's where we are.
I think that's pretty much sums it up, yeah. So, and I believe we're into the 8th round of combat.
Woo.
And surprisingly, it's one of the guards, yeah. So basically the guard just stands. Which one is it? It's this one. So he stands ready, or rather, oh no, they've moved up to face this creature, haven't they? Yeah. So he stands, and sort of almost shaking in his boots. He steps forward, or rather, maybe he steps a little bit back actually, and fires off his crossbow instead. Contemplates trying to stab it with a spear, but then decides perhaps the crossbow from a distance is a slightly better.
How far away is this creature?
So it's still some distance away as well. So it'll be on its turn, or rather, is it in this round? Yeah. So on its turn, it will move. It will be in move up to attack.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, he fires off his crossbow. I forgot to leave it. So and yeah, unfortunately, the bolt bounces off its thick hide, with doing no damage at all. So Dominico, he continues the ritual, chanting, completing on his 4th round of doing the ritual. So let's give him another mark. So it's 4 rounds. He's got 2 rounds left. He needs to complete the ritual. Right, Obed. Oh God. Right, so Obed's in a pretty bad way. He's almost at death's door. What can he do? There's not much left he can do. Right, okay, I can do this. So he casts a spell, and a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from his outstretched arms, striking the creature in front of him, the elemental creature in front of him, which must make a a Constitution save. Unfortunately, Con's pretty good.
Did he shout absolute power as he did?
Did he yell, "You shall not pass"?
So, but it seems to brace itself, and it takes a sort of reduced amount of the damage. Why is it not rolling damage? Go on, roll the damage. Oh, that's pathetic. That was a poor choice of action, that Obed, I'm afraid. Right, yeah, let's get rid of that template. That did not go well for him. Oh, I'm echoing, but somebody's still got the volume turned on Twitch or something. I'm echoing back from somebody. Right, so well, yeah, so he hasn't got any actions left, so pretty much Obed just stands there expecting the worst. Oh, and it's the elemental's turn next.
Oh dear.
Red drops to his knees.
Right, yep, and it
Is it the ringers?
slams down with its two appendages. Oh god, striking Obed and just smashing him to a pulp. He's dead. Obed
His
is
sacrifice will be
dead.
rewarded in the afterlife, maybe.
So yeah, it brings its other fist down. There's just like this broken bloody mess on the floor. It's not even recognisable as Obed. The amount of damage it's dealt him.
What was that god that they were supposed to be making, praises to?
Carver.
Kazar.
Doing it with their name, weren't they? Their name.
Kazar, yeah.
Kazar.
Yeah,
Kazar.
that's it, the goddess of
Kazar.
the real name of the goddess of light.
Yeah.
Right,
He
next.
died in Kazar's name.
Balak next.
It is. Balak is next. Oh, hold on a minute. No, sorry. It's got. I think that thing is a bonus. Is that a bonus? Let's see. Need to do a thing. So, yeah. So and it sort of arches its arms, and a gob of molten rock is projected from its chest towards Dominiku. Oh God! Right, it slams into him, knocking him straight off his feet and crushing him against the cavern wall, and
Cool.
he's killed
So that-
instantly.
Yay. It's over. Oh no. Quick, flee, guys. Flee.
Wait a minute. What if Dominique was actually the last part of summoning the god?
Pass. Well, if Dominika's dead, I assume the ritual can't be completed. So that's that, really.
Maybe you can finish it. You two have got your stuff.
Yeah, it's not Yog Sothory. It's a cleric ritual, isn't it?
Well, it's from
So what
it's from
about
one of
the
those
paladin?
books, though.
Well,
So yeah, what
they go
Yog
with the
Sothory,
book.
Yog Sothory check would be a valid thing to do.
Okay.
But first it's Balak.
So, in seeing this, knowing that the ritual's only got 2 steps left to be completed, then I think it's probably best if I take up the mantle of Itin and then Threadney goes and tries to finish the ritual. Because that's not going to affect haste, is it? So, game's paused, Phil.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I think
I'll take up where he were. And I'll just start fighting this thing.
Okay.
Get over till it's over, boys.
no. I think we should really protect her doing it. Like I know I mentioned it before about moving and like not moving, but
Yeah.
if we
Well, you'll have to decide when it's your turn because the horror thing's going to arrive before you. Ooh,
Oh,
that's
it's
Okay, that's a
we
hit.
for the horror.
I'd need advantage to use sneak attack, so I'll just do. So that's 4 points of damage, 10 points of thunder damage, and another 15 if it moves.
Sorry, what was that again? Sorry.
So 4 points of piercing damage,
4 points piercing damage. Yeah.
10 points of thunder,
Yeah.
and another 15 if it moves.
Okay.
And then for my next attack, This is just going to be piercing damage, but I've got my macro set, so 11 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and that's my 2 attacks as I recall. And I will move. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Are
in
you
battle.
close enough to pick up a blessing off of the paladin from there?
I don't know.
Well, if you were think 10 foot, but I'm not sure if that's. I'm not sure what those auras do. Saving throws, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not really.
I'm just positioning myself so they can't get to
Yeah.
heavy or. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to pick up any buffs.
Okay. Right. Finally, this thing, this huge like winged worm, like crawls and drags its way down the entrance tunnel, and confronting Jalhan, Lofar, and this quivering, fearful guard. Right. Yeah. So it just completely fills this tunnel.
Do you think they were the things that actually bored the tunnels in the first place?
You have to speak up, Steve. I can't hear you.
Are they the creatures that actually bored the tunnels in the first place?
No, I think these are summoned things that came out that rift in the sky, and then attacked from outside. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be
I
a
think the
random.
tunnels are probably old lava tubes.
Okay.
Okay, right. It lunges forward with like surprising speed, and the reach of it takes you by surprise, and it just snaps up the guard and just tears him in two.
Okay.
And he's gone. And that is I think it only gets.
Don't I get a reaction attack?
No, you'll get your turn.
So it would normally get more attacks, but it's because it's like constricted by this tunnel, it can't do its extra attacks.
Okay.
So next is Jalhan.
Can I jump on its head?
I suppose you could try and get on top of it if you wish. That would be an opposed athletics check, I guess.
Cool. So like, I want to kind of jump off the wall and just stab it straight through the head.
Okay.
On the first attack.
Okay. So
If it's going to be epic, it's going to be epic, isn't it? Okay, so I need an athletics check.
you'll need an athletics and an attack roll if that's what you're going to do something crazy like that.
Okay, athletics or acrobatics? Acrobatics
Either
is
will
plus
do.
10.
Either will do.
I'll go
Acrobatics
for the
is
plus
probably
10 then. Is it a normal or an advantage because it's stuck in the tunnel?
No, it's normal. Just being stuck in a tunnel doesn't make it. Yeah, normal.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
15.
15. Fair enough. Right. Yeah. Okay. You don't manage to like leap at it. Maybe not manage to get actually physically on top of it, but enough that you like sort of make a dive at it and bring it to like dive down on it to attack with your sword.
Okay, this.
So we'll give you a one-off advantage on it. So let's say call it like a charge.
Come on, critical.
Oh!
He's dead. He's dead.
Holy shit, 30.
I think it gives me a 1.
Typical. Still at 16. It's still 16.
And that's only 1 of 6.
That's right.
Sorry, just 1 second. I'm just trying to get to that one.
I got a bit excited then when I hit that critical.
No, it's still very good.
Trying to. Sorry, it's kind of like dull in the moment a little. Just realised I ain't got the cameras on.
Do we need them?
Well, I suppose not.
Nobody saw me do that then.
Yeah, and they're all out of alignment, so I'm not going to mess around with that now. Okay. Right, so 16 points of piercing damage.
I think the odds just want that thing dead. That should be straight dead, shouldn't it? Rolling a critical when needed.
Just do that another 10 times and we'll be golden.
Are any of my other attacks advantaged, or are they just normal?
No,
now?
just that one. Just that
So
one.
Okay,
roll 5 more attacks.
If you, yeah.
17.
17, right? That's so it doesn't. You hit it, but you don't penetrate its armor.
Okay. 12 again, am I?
No, unfortunately not. Okay.
That'll hit.
28.
How many
That'll
attacks
hit.
have you got?
28.
6. He's got 6 attacks.
Oh, yeah, speed. You're hasting, aren't you? Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, 28 is definitely a hit.
Yeah, he's like in berserk mode without having berserker.
Okay, 13 points of damage.
Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, it's looking a
This
little
is
bit
the fifth
injured.
one? He would look a bit dead in a minute. I'm protecting my sister.
Oh, almost.
14. 24.
Right, stab it again.
Okay, 8.
Points.
And the final attack, another critical.
Come on, 20.
20. Oh,
Okay, right, stab it yet again. For another 11.
cool. Wait a second. We're going to expend a
Okay,
superiority
it's looking
dice.
injured.
We could do more damage. What should I do? When you hit a creature with... Okay then, here we go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to scare the crap out of it. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw against being scared against me.
You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. When you hit a creature with a weapon die, you expend one superiority attack. Add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, so you do that first.
Yep.
And the target must make a wisdom throw.
So roll a d10 and add it to that 11.
So what's the DC?
Sorry, add it.
Oh, shame I didn't do it on the first, on that
What's the
attack when
DC
I
with
got...
that?
16, yeah. So d10 now, isn't it, for superiority die?
Yeah. Do you want me to roll a d10?
Yes, roll a d10. Oh, shit.
It was an 8 then.
So
So
what's the
13
DC of the what's the DC of the roll?
13. 13.
13. All right, thank you. So that's another 2 points of damage. And a DC 13 saving, wisdom saving throw. Oh my god!
It failed.
It failed!
Scared of me.
What the hell is that? Good grief, it's wisdom's 21. Right, okay. So frightened. Jesus.
Awesome.
Frightened. So frightened creature has disadvantage on its ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of its so it's giving it disability. Disadvantage. So it'll have disadvantage on its attack and ability rolls while within
Line of sight.
yeah. So
It doesn't flee. It doesn't flee.
normally no, it doesn't force it to flee. No.
No, but it can't move willingly closer to me.
It can't
so
willingly
basically I've
move
taken
close to
him
you,
out
no.
of-
It's
out the fight
normally
until next turn.
yeah, it's not forced to
Yeah.
flee, but yeah.
Okay.
In this situation, it's kind of compelled to remain anyway.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so next it's Threadeny. So if you want to make that Yogg Sothry check, you can, due to prior knowledge, you can do it with advantage. I think you do it with advantage anyway, do you? I can't remember.
I
But
do
you
it
can.
with advantage anyway.
Ah, right, okay.
I basically roll Arcana, I think, and I've got expertise in it,
Okay.
which is the same thing I got for the other ones. So
Oh, critted it. Okay, right. Well, that's the.
When we need
Well,
them.
you within. In which case, you're within no doubt. the solution is clear to you. You suspected it all along, and by observing and just quickly thinking about observing what's been going off in the fight, they've made no attempt to hurt Evior, and so it's clear to you there is one last way to release the energy that is that Evior's fragile frame contains, to cast her into the
This is
lava.
way up your street. You love killing innocent people.
Is this like an action, right? For me to perform Yog Sothery, or is this just flashed into my mind? As
No,
a
it's
bonus
yeah.
action?
So it's like a yeah. Don't yeah.
So Thread and
I believe
will...
so. Anyway, let me just double check. I don't think it's a.
It's just like when you was a little girl with your doll and you ripped the rest off.
Oh, this takes me back to my childhood.
The voices told me to do it.
God, I can't believe everything's running dog slow on my machine for some reason.
What's even better is the paladin's going to give you advantage on your attack as well.
Well,
I
that's
don't
not
need-
necessarily the case. I don't think the paladin's going to be cooperative in that.
Oh no, the Paladin's not going to see this one coming.
Sparta kick him off.
No, the Paladin's not going to see this coming. Can I cast a spell?
Just a moment. I just need to check on the Yog Sothery thing. Ah, there it is. Is that it? No. Where the hell is it?
Are you gonna find us clicker?
I'm just gonna. I can't find it, so I'm just gonna say yeah. It's like I would consider it like a bonus action.
Right. So Threadney's going to step up to Eivor and say with a voice of authority, "I know what needs to happen. I can do this."
Right. So Eivor's, like I say, she's only she's very weak. She's barely able to hold herself up.
So she got disadvantage on an 18 Dex saving throw.
Oh. Oh well, yeah.
That's one way to release the energy.
Oh, she fails. So.
Oh, you meanie.
That's 75 force damage.
75. Was it? Creature was save on fail so take its target.
She is disintegrated if she's left with 0 hit points.
Okay, she's not. She
is not.
No.
She's still got hit points.
Yep.
Wow.
That's only taken her down by about half.
You're joking.
No.
Oh no, now we've got the butcher, the sweet innocent little one. Hang on, if it was force damage, couldn't they have pushed her into the lava?
No, it's not. It doesn't push you. It's like a...
You need to go all Red Witch on this.
Well, no, I mean, that is basically, if that's only half...
So she screams. She despite this, that she's like screams in agony. She's like, maybe her arm, one of her hands and part of one of her arms is just like withers almost completely away.
If she grows that back, you're fucked.
Eldron just like, what are you doing?
No, Eldron's facing the other way. He's toe to toe with what's his face. I don't have anything that can push things.
You could have probably just picked her up and run with her.
No, I can't. I can't. Strength 10.
She's a girl. She's like a little girl.
I don't have anything. Can I do that? No, I can't do any of that.
You could have like carried her or dragged her. I thought that's what you were
No,
going to do.
no, I'd have to go past everyone else.
Yes, you would.
No,
You would.
no.
Okay.
So, Threadney will just cast Disintegrate and say, in a nice, clear voice, "I'm sorry, Eivor. The only way for us to end this is for you to die and save us all." And then, and Threadney will grab Eivor and start dragging her towards the edge.
Okay. Well, you got your move. Have you got any movement left?
Oh yeah, I've got like 20 foot.
Okay.
I
then.
only just across. Oh, okay. Then I'll drag right to the edge.
Okay. Right. Okay. So next it's right. So it's one of the elementals. So it comes stomping down towards it comes stomping down towards it. It knows what's going off. So has it got the reach? It's got the reach. No, it hasn't quite got the reach to get to you, so it needs to get past Balak first. So it launches an attack, a savage attack against Balak, striking him with its arms, slamming down, hitting him for 18 points. Oh no, it's so let's see that is 16 points of bludgeoning damage. Is that? Not quite sure. No, that's not more. It's 11. So 2 fire damage. So that's 24 points of bludgeoning damage and 2 fire damage.
His AC is too higher. His AC is too higher than it's showing on his character sheet because of haste.
Yeah, you got 26.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I am, even with the haste, I'm 18 now.
All right.
Actually, that damage is wrong. It's 8. Sorry, it's 18. No, sorry, it's 16 bludgeoning damage and 2 fire damage. Start 5th level on the attack is siege hit. You can use a reaction half the damage. So yeah, so that's so in which case that's 8 bludgeoning damage and 1 fire damage then. And then it lashes out at you again. But this time you easily manage to step aside and it just slams its fist into the floor. Right, next it's Eldron. So Eldron by now has seen what's happening, and with total disregard for his safety, he dashes forward, shouting, and he says, "Stop!" And of course, the elemental gets a reaction attack against him as he does so.
So if he tries to stab, he tries to come. I'm going to stab him too. Oh, with the reaction, I can't. Sorry.
So yeah, this attacks Eldron as he tries to rushes forward. Oh, but I believe it misses him. So yeah, so Eldron rushes forward and attempts and just bashes into you. Slams into you with his shield. With his shield bash.
Even though I'm hanging into Eivor, that seems silly.
Hey? No, he's trying to knock you away from Eivor.
But I'm hanging onto her.
Yeah, I know.
So in front of you.
Trying to knock you. He's not trying to knocking you straight forward. He's trying to knock you to the side, to the right.
Okay.
I'm like that with her at the edge, and then just as he hits, take a step and watch them both fall into the lava.
Shield for body range. You can attack action on your turn. Yeah. His bonus action to try and shove. Your shield's on because bonus for any stacks.
Who said 3 rounds was going to be done in an hour?
We've not been going half an hour yet. Right, so he makes an attack roll, I think. So
if you disintegrated her, we would have been done already.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he attempts to like knock you aside with his shield, but he trips on a crack in the floor in his haste, and the attempt misses.
Oh,
I want a percentage check on him bundling into Evior and going into the lava for comical
Right.
value.
So the elemental that he fled past rounds on Eldron and attacks him from the rear, which is so it's going to so it moves across. They're not stupid, so it moves across and can't get advantage. So it attacks him from the rear anyway. So slamming into him with two of its fists, striking him with the first. For what's that? 15 points of bludgeoning damage and 10 fire damage. So a total of 25 damage. If you still doing his character, Lou?
yeah, I totally forgot about that. Did you say 25?
25
right?
total, yeah. So 15 of his 15 is bludgeoning, 10 is fire damage. Right, then it attacks him again.
I don't have access to a sheet.
All right, just 1 second. I can resolve that situation quite easily. Eldron, configure permissions. There you go. Oh, stupid bloody thing. Shift screen.
All right, crack on. Next attack.
Yeah, so the next attack slams into him, hitting him again for another 17 points of damage. That's 12 bludgeoning damage and 7 fire damage. 10 bludgeoning damage and 7 fire damage.
Cool.
Right, then it is one of the guards. So, well, the guard's a bit confused as to what's going off. Yeah, I think he's quite badly injured him anyway, so I think he's just going to use his action to like back away because he's right next to one of the elementals, doesn't really know what to do, and then it's Lothar. So Lothar, you hear Lothar once more dedicated is this battle, this desperate last stand to the glory of Khazar, and charges forward with his axe.
He gets advantage, doesn't he? Because the thing's focused on me.
No, it's basically in a tunnel and you're both in front of it, so it's... If he was on the tail end, that would be perfect.
What have you got against Lothar? Help him out. Give him an advantage. You're so mean. First you're killing innocent girls.
This is Cthulhu. Basically, if you aren't dying, you're murdering your best mates and family.
Okay, right, he swings and misses with the first attack, then it swings again. Oh my god, it misses again. That's an identical roll. And makes his last attack. What the hell's going on? How can he have rolled the same thing 3 times?
That's a 1 in 400 chance.
Jesus Christ, he rolled 3
More than
2s.
that.
3
Yeah,
2s!
Roll 2 of them again.
That's 400. 2,000, 2,000 or something.
Oh, actually, no, so Lothar has pack tactics. If he has advantage on his rolls, if at least one ally was in 5 feet of the creature he's attacking and isn't incapacitated.
Oh, well, perfect then. He does get advantage. You were right there.
Yeah, so
Well,
there's essentially 3 more attacks.
Yeah.
So, right, so the first one actually hits. And he strikes it for 9 slashing damage.
Just hit it.
All right, and then he's trying the again. Where are we? No, that's not it. There it is. No, the second one still does miss. The third one, completely misses. Jesus Christ, that were a 1. Okay, so then it's the guard. So it's the guard. Once more, he fires off his cross. Oh, well, it's the other one. The other one died. So yeah, he loads up his crossbow and fires it off at the serpent creature. Where are we? Crossbow, go, fire, completely misses. Right, that's the end of that round.
Dream's paused, Phil.
Sorry?
Dream's still paused. You didn't unpause it.
It's not paused anymore, no. I
It's
unpaused
not
it ages ago.
paused.
You know, it's the same on mine, same on Keys' as well.
Not on mine, it's not.
It's not on mine.
Mine's okay.
It's not paused on mine.
Not paused on the stream either.
I think Kizio was talking
Oh, about
about.
half an hour ago. Sorry, I've only just seen it. My bad. I'll shut up.
Okay.
How did that guard go before me? Oh, holy cow!
Because we can't roll crap now. We got a couple of crits and that's it. It's like the game's like, yeah, you've had your look now.
Oh god, Balak, you rolled a 20.
Okay, so first to act is Balak. So, so from where you're stood on the near the edge of the crater, the like on the edge of this platform, you can clearly see this huge bulk of a thing. Just must be just literally just below the surface, and some of its form starts to break above the surface of the lava.
Okay.
And
You heard me.
Is Threading still got hold
this is
Avior.
clear. If it's clear, if you don't do something drastic, then it's all over.
Yeah. So I'm going to disengage as a bonus action, so
Okay.
they can't get me. And then I'm going to run over and I'm going to help Threading throw Avior into fire.
Okay. Well, so it's yeah, just a strength, but you can do it with advantage because Evor's in such a bad way. Strength check, athletics check.
Can't believe she has 150 hit points. What was
Yeah.
her constitution like? 50 or something?
It's to do with like the you know.
Being a god.
Oh! Wow, well, you tell us and Balak, that's a critical success on that. You tell us what just happens.
So seeing what Threading is trying to do, my mind snap into it, and I just kind of ducking out of the way of all the things that are trying to kill us and trying to stop us, including the paladin. And I just snatch Avior off Threading it, and like in one windmill move, just carry on spinning round and it's straight into fire.
Okay, right. So like Eldron like sort of like goes out to like try and grab her, but you're far too quick, and you're like too knocker way too just like sailing out and across into the
So how
out and
much
across
damage
from the
does
ledge. Then like
that-
seconds.
10 to 10d10?
You what? Sorry.
Is it 10d10 lava damage?
So seconds extend agonizingly as Evior plummets into the lava below. And for a briefest moment, it almost looks like she's just going to sit on the surface, as if the magma itself is refusing the intrusion of like Khazar's power that's about to be unleashed. And then there's a nearly imperceptible pop, and Evor's form just like bursts into flames. And as the battle rages behind you, there is a flash of fiery radiance as the volcano suddenly unleashes its pent-up fury, and all goes white.
No, we all die. Typical Cthulhu, we're all dead. Typical. At least we should just be thankful there were no tentacles before the end.
Right, the
What
holy
are we?
energies housed within Evor's frail form envelop the island in a pure white explosion of energy. Everybody, every creature on the island and within a few hundred yards of the shore is washed in raw spiritual energy, inflicting 44 points of radiant damage upon them, unless you can make a wisdom save. Right, this instantly kills the guards and most of the civilians left on the island.
Yeah, Threadnear's down. Checking Eldron. Yeah.
Do you get +2 on your wisdom saves because they're Eldron?
You what, sorry?
I rolled a 1, doesn't matter.
Okay.
44, so he takes half, does he?
Yeah.
So
I got 17. Am I okay? Or did I get big
17 is not enough.
Okay, so I'm going to use Indomitable, and then I can re-roll my saving throw, can't I?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. So yeah, 17 is
Cool.
not a save.
Okay, so let's try it again. Wisdom. Did you say I got an advantage off of Eldrin being stood there? I'm farther away anyway. I'm like all the way over there. Oh,
No,
7. What did I get this time?
10.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
So I got to take 44 points of damage.
Yeah, 44
Yeah.
points of radiant damage. Right, as the volcano erupts, lava just like splashes up into the air and across the like platform where you stood. As the rocks buckle and shatter, you're thrown backwards towards in the direction of the tunnel, which is blocked by this creature, and where Lothar and Jalan were battling it. And you can make a dexterity save as like lava just like splashes over this shelf. Oh wow, that's success for Balak and Jalan.
Oh, Eldron, sorry. Keep forgetting. Dex save. Normal. Nope, fails.
Okay, so if you fail, that's another 44 points of fire damage.
Okie dokie. He's down to 5.
Okay, so like I say, as the volcano starts to erupt, it starts tearing the mountain apart. You hear there's a massive explosion somewhere above your heads, and boulders and rocks and debris starts raining down on you as the mountain just starts ripping itself apart. And through all this, you can see for a brief instant, you see these two like forms just wrapped. Sort of grappling in sort of engaged in mortal combat in this fountain of lava and heat and rocks, and you can all make another dexterity saving throw as all these rocks and boulders and the whole thing starts coming down around you, and there's a massive concussive blast that blows out the entire top of the mountain.
So it'll just be easy if you just say roll saves until you fail 3 and 3, and then you're dead.
Yeah, no, right, because they've chucked the girl in the thing, right? And now, 3 things have happened. Why haven't we had a decision just to run? I don't really care what's going on now. We're either dead or not. I want to be running away from this volcano. I don't need to stand around and watch infants burn and paladins cry. You know what I mean?
I think it's all happening more or less at once.
Yes. This just
What, you would need a saving throw?
Welcome to Cthulhu there, Steve. Just enjoy the ride.
I didn't die last time. I just went mental and ended up in an asylum.
Okay,
22.
so Balak and Jalan have made the save.
Oh yeah, Eldron's dead, sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay, Paul, what next? Calamity.
Okay, so if
basically
you
it's
fail
one-star.
the roll, you take another 44 points of blood. And like I said, there's this massive concussive blast as as the top of the mountain just blows out, and that's the last you remember.
Cool. Good game, guys. Oh,
So-
well. Oh, there's more.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's more. Yeah, there's more. So you the next thing that you're
There
aware
goes
of.
your minds is our arses, yes, and sorry, carry on, Phil.
You feel like you're sort of bathed in this this sort of golden light, and you have this sort of vague, sort of dreamlike memory of a face like looks alternately like a golden haired woman, and then a little bit like Evo looking down at you, and then Jalan, you feel a sharp pain in your shoulder that suddenly brings you like awake, startles you awake, and you find yourself in the ocean. There's a sharp hooked blade stuck into your shoulder, and you feel like this intense pressure as you're being dragged through along the surface of the ocean, and you find yourself hauled up out of the water, and looking down at you is Cosimo and his undead crewmate who bends down and removes his hook from your shoulder, where it's embedded into your shoulder.
Nice.
So looking around you, as you like cough up sort of lungfuls of salt water, you see laid about on the deck of the ship, deck of Sensor's old ship, the bodies of Eldron, your sister, and Balak. Balak is sat up, sort of trying to propped up against the side of the ship, trying to get his breath. Whereas, but the Eldron and Threadney lie pale and still to one side.
Is Fred and A dead?
Oh
So-
God, yeah.
So
Oh God,
yeah,
yeah.
rush.
She was dead before all the stuff blew up. So
You was dead before all the stuff blew up.
yeah,
Oh no.
So you rush over to your sister, but she's
no, just bugged me with a toe. She's like, yep, she's dead.
but yeah,
I'm
she's
gonna-
dead.
I'm gonna drag her to me.
Somehow, despite all that happened in the fire, the lava, the explosions, somehow a body is appears mostly unharmed. You'd expect it to be mangled and burnt, but somehow it's not. But despite
going
all
to-
that, she
Okay.
appears to be dead, as is Eldron.
Okay, well, I'm going to step over Eldron, and as a stoic warrior who never shows his emotions, I'm going to bend down, I'm going to pick up my sister, and then a solitary tear of pure radiant energy is going to roll down my face and fall onto her forehead.
So
You should just bury me at sea and toss me overboard.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring you back to life here. If we had that much radiant energy pumped into us,
No, you don't understand.
what is it?
Threadney's going to turn into an evil queen of darkness if she doesn't die now.
Okay,
That's the future.
so
Sorry.
there's no sign of Evior. So looking about the deck of the ship, there's maybe a dozen, just over a dozen or more civilians from the island, and as you glance back, well, actually, what are you doing, Balak? What's Balak doing? So you're conscious. What's
Just making sure that the island's in the horizon behind us, and we're flying far away from it. We're rowing far away from it, just sat there in silence, waiting for something to happen.
Okay, all right. So yeah, looking back across the sea, you're actually quite some distance from Fazine, or where Fazine once was. So you can see the island has been completely devastated, ripped apart. Only shards of it remain, but the volcano is still in the process of erupting. Lava is pouring down the shattered slopes and into the sea, and a new island is being formed.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we go back and make that our new home. We
So
need to find a necromancer.
so yeah, you apart from you're being slightly burnt and battered and bruised, you've so the Cosimo and Matteo, well, not Matteo because he can't speak, but Cosimo says that they're just they'd given up, but then they just found you. Somebody just spotted you off the side, just floating in the sea. They've no idea how you got there. They managed to escape when the volcano erupted. They managed to escape on the boat and got as many people off the island as they could with them. But as far as I know, there's no other survivors at all.
Oh.
It's the next civilization that we can think of. If they know where we're going. Just away from here. Anywhere away from here.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Lothar is so Lothar's on the ship, but Lothar's dead. He's on the ship.
Has he still got his axe?
He has still got his axe, yes.
Yoink.
So you feel strangely drawn to the axe as well, Jalan. Your sister holding your sister in your arms, and tears are rolling down your cheeks, but you feel strangely drawn to Lothar's axe. That I believe you did sort of handle it briefly.
When we was at the outpost place.
Sorry?
He was on his office wall.
Yes.
When he was on his office wall.
Yeah, well, you recovered it for him, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go and pick it up.
Right, you pick it up and it feels warm. It feels comfortable in your hands, and you hear a dark whisper in your head
Okay.
that and you feel this axe was meant for you, and the axe whispers to you that that is so. That is how it's meant to be.
Oh, nice one. So, is there any way that I can bring my sister back?
No.
No.
What if I find a necromancer? Or get an undead person to turn you? Can we turn her undead?
So Balak, you so you see Jalan pick up this axe, and you sort of puts his sister down, picks up this axe, and a kind of a weird kind of smirk crosses his face as he picks up the axe, and almost as if he looks almost like he's listening to somebody that's not there. And Cosimo comes over and says, "So, where shall we go?"
Anywhere away from here.
Have we actually got anything, or have we just like expended everything that we had, and now we've got smarter, but now we're just on a boat sailing in the middle of the sea?
We just saved the world.
You've
Now we
saved
just
the
want to-
world. You've got your lives. So yeah, Cosimo. So with Cosimo and Matteo, they set the ship, or what's left of the ship. It's still pretty battered in a pretty bad way, but just about seaworthy. So they set a course north of the mainland. Maybe it's the only thing you know that you really know, and you sail off.
I think we need to find out where the bag of loot that Cosimo stole is, because he's hardly been here the whole time, and that's the one thing he was a thief. While we were saving the world, he was robbing for Zim.
Well, we made it, more or less.
Oh no! What am I supposed to do now? My twin has died.
Live a happy, full, destructive life with a cursed axe.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can, if you want, maybe you want to. What happens after? Where do you go? What happens to you all? If you want to, maybe you want to.
Assume Kidney gets buried at sea before she smells too bad.
I'll let you do what you want with your sister. I think this is where we part
I
ways.
think I'm going to give her a proper burial. Like, we're going to stick her on a plank, set her out to sea, set a fire to her. Kind of Viking-esque thing, because that's what my YouTube's been filled of recently. Fiery burials. We're going to send you off. I'm gonna take all your possessions though, except for your clothes.
I didn't have anything.
No, but you had your spells and your cantrips and that stuff, didn't you?
No,
keep...
I'm a sorcerer. I don't have a spell book. Oh wait,
Well,
no, lie. I had 1 level of wizardry. I have a spell book, but it's only got level 1 spells.
Okay, well that's useless then. I was hoping that you was going to leave me a clue to like find out more about these people. That's
Yeah,
what I was going to do.
sorrows.
Okay, well I guess I'm going to go back and tell our parents that she finally got herself killed. And
Awesome.
the burden of the family is no more, so they can live a free and happy life. They can open the curtains, they can welcome people back in.
Exactly.
And then
She's not going to show
I'm gonna find Balak, and I'm gonna, if he wants to, I'm gonna team up and go off into the.
We're done. See you again.
We go our separate ways. I'm gonna become a hired sword with my cursed sword, and it's.
Well, at level 14, you're probably the best swordsman on the continent right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well, and of course
did I level
that is yeah. Well, I'm just going to say that would be a small thing. Not that it really means anything right now. But yes, you will have leveled up.
What, 1 level for that?
Yes, 1 level.
Okay. Leveling up just so I can say I got a 15 character.
and also because now I'm gonna have time to go off, I'm gonna pick up a second subclass. Who should I pick? What should I pick up as a subclass?
Sorcery in memory of your sister.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, maybe imbued with your dead sister's spirit.
I just clicked on the thing that said class source, and it's got loads of really weird things. It says like, hang on, wait, the big titty goth girlfriend.
Sorry, guys, I've got to go.
I thought you were sorry because it was your collection. Who's the big titty goth girl? I don't know. Whereabouts is it?
Thanks, then.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Phil.
Right, thank you. There we go. We've finally reached the end of Cool Island.
Well,
Good night, chaps. I'll see you next time.
See you later, Phil.
See you later. All right, thanks everybody for watching. That's that finally brings that campaign to an end. So we'll be back with a regular Wednesday game, which will be our Call of Cthulhu game. So we'll see you hope to see you on Wednesday evening for the next part of the Dragon of Wantley. Okay, so thanks again and good night.